Hello, Chris Henschel here again with the Canadian Parks and Wilderness Society. I'm back home in Canada, even though the Bonn climate change talks are still ongoing. I had to come home to take care of my family, but my team's still there and we're still engaged very much in the negotiations. There's been a lot of interest in the story so far, as developing countries have been standing up to resist the scam, the cheating by developed countries to not account for logging emissions in the context of these climate change talks, when really they should be doing as much as they can to reduce emissions. They're keen, it seems, to cheat instead and not accept accountability for these emissions and just make the climate change problem worse. So what's happened in the past couple of days, yesterday I had a closed negotiation session. Developed countries started pushing back even on the idea, the proposal from the group of 77 developing nations in China, that there needed to be transparency. They had put forward a list of information that they wanted to see so they could understand the baselines that developed countries were putting forward. And there was a lot of resistance to that idea. Always, it's too difficult to do, we don't have all the information. At which point, the discussion became quite a bit heated. Developing nations saying, "Look, you're trying to cheat. You're trying to avoid accounting for these emissions. You're trying to increase your emissions, and you won't even give us the information we need to understand." So it's a bit of a blowout yesterday. Apparently, things normalized a bit today. There's some willingness to put that information together, but even though that information is put together, the way I see this, increased transparency does not mean reduced emissions. In fact, in this case, it will be increased transparency about increased emissions. So the last 2 days of the talks are going to be focused on accounting for carbon in harvested wood products and dealing with the emissions from natural disturbances. And again, some crazy ideas put forward today. The Russian Federation came up with some new creative ideas for how they can account for carbon in wood if it helps them and not account for it if it doesn't. So they want to take credit for any of the carbon that's stored in wood in their own country, but if they export any of it, they export the emissions along with it. So it's another example of the silly creative accounting and cheating that countries like to get up to in this process. So we're going to keep our ear to the ground, talk to as many delegates in the next day as things start to wrap up, and at the end of the talks we'll have an update on what's happened, and hopefully we can still turn this thing around. Thanks. Take care. Bye.